welcome back to the channel. I am the Darklight Emissary, and this video is on 5 of the rarest weapon types in the Imperium of Man. This will be a mix of weapons of different sizes and uses, not just handheld, but also bigger weapon systems. This one is probably going to be relatively short and to the point, so let's get to it. Some of these are truly either one of a kind or very rare by the time of the 41st millennium. And first, we will talk about Bulkite weapons. Bulkite technology dates back to the Dark Age of technology, and over time, it has become increasingly hard for forces of the Mechanicum to continue making these weapons. They were somewhat common during the Great Crusade era, but both due to the natural degradation of the Imperium over the next 10,000 years, and the heresy that caused that, these weapons have become much more of a relic of an ancient past, with only some of the best units still having access to them. Bulkites work by producing what is known as a deflagrating attack, which is a subsonic combustion caused by a beam of thermal energy propagated through a target material. This effect could get through Space Marine power armor with one charge shot, and due to the thermodynamic properties, can ignite things around the direct contact point instantaneously. Organic matter especially would explosively respond, bursting into flame and dissipating into ash in quick order, so these things will completely destroy you very quickly. And that's really it for Bulkite weapons. There's quite a few different types of them, but they all basically do the same thing, just in a slightly different way. So I won't really elaborate on the individual types of Bulkites. Next up, we have Graviton Beam weapons and Chrono weapons, which are found basically only on the Arch Mechanicus ship, known as the Speranza. First off, let me talk about the Speranza itself for a second. It's a absolutely massive ship. It is so big that it has internal training fields where even Titans can take part of training operations. In fact, in one of the books featuring this ship, which is, I think it's called one of the books is called The Gods of Mars, and there's 3 different ones in a trilogy. I highly recommend it. And a Titan in one of these books fires one of its plasma weapons, which punches through several walls of the vessel, damaging it, but didn't slow down the ship at all. Normally, such a weapon discharge from a Titan would spell the end for most ships. Just wanted to point this out. This ship, or fortress, or whatever you want to refer to it as, dates back to the Dark Age of technology of mankind, and it has available to it at least one Graviton Beam weapon that, when fired, creates a miniature black hole at a location fired upon. Working in concert with this is a Chrono weapon capable of moving an enemy target nanoseconds back into the past. Using these weapons, the Speranza was able to destroy at least one Eldar ship, forcing the ship backwards in time, directly into the path of one of these miniature black holes. I just find these fascinating, and I don't know of any other source or books I've seen quite these weapon systems employed otherwise. They truly have to be some of the rarest weapon systems the Imperium doesn't really even truly know it has, except for a few members of the Mechanicus, and they have absolutely zero hope of ever figuring out how to replicate this technology, I'd imagine, as well. Next up are Digi or digital weapons. Most of these are created by the xenos mentioned in a previous video, known as the Jokaro, who are known for creating wildly varying high forms of technology. Digi weapons are miniature weapons, often hidden in a master-crafted ring, that can pack the punch of a normal gun or other weapon. Notably, John Grammaticus, a character in the Horus Heresy era, in the book Legion, had a Digi laser weapon that he used when he was cornered at times. These weapons are good as a surprise attack or last resort type of thing, but otherwise they take forever to charge back up to use again, since they don't have powerful energy generation due to their size. So you're not really going to use these in extended combat. You want to take your enemy off guard with it, is the idea with these weapons. Due to the rarity of these, often only high-ranking Inquisitors, Princeps, or Space Marines will be found to wield weapons like this. Next, we have the Katan Phase Sword. These are some of the some sort of ancient Necron technology wielded by Imperial assassins of the Calidus Temple. This sword seems to phase in and out of rail space, and which is appropriate for a Necron weapon, since they are into phasing technology, and with this phasing tech, it bypasses all manner of armor, personal shielding, and other protections, making it useful for Calidus to do their dreaded work. Curiously, since this is a Necron weapon, it doesn't seem useful against Katan, and I imagine, or at least high-ranking Necrons. There's at least one example of a Calidus assassin trying to stab a Katan shard, and the Katan just absorbed the weapon back into itself. Next is the Plasma Annihilator. This is the largest single plasma weapon in the arsenal of the Imperium. Basically a capital ship rated weapon in size and power, it is fitted only onto the Imperator class of Titans, which are rare in and of themselves. This weapon system pulls power directly from the reactor of the Titan, and when fired, it can overwhelm the void shields and obliterate several Titans, all at the same time. It's very possible the Mechanicus has no clue how to build any more of these weapon systems. I imagine they are possibly all ancient relics, much like Titans that bear them, or the ships that also possibly have a few of these. And last, we will talk a little bit about our Vortex weapons in general. There are a few types, and all are absolutely devastating. When activated, a Vortex weapon opens a tear directly to the warp. This only happens for seconds, but the warp is unreality, and will go to work to break down all contact with reality in encounters, effectively obliterating what it contacts before reality reasserts itself and the warp retreats. The most basic form of this weapon are in grenade form. However, these also are built into massive torpedoes that can be fired by ships. If a Vortex Torpedo hits an enemy ship, that entire portion of the ship simply ceases to exist, or the entire ship itself, depending on its size. Rarer still is a cannon version of this weapon, which is utilized only by the Dark Angels during the Horus Heresy, fitted to one of their ships. I imagine this version of the weapon was possibly gifted to the Dark Angels by the Emperor himself. This seems to be truly a one-of-a-kind version of this weapon. And other than that, the only other type that the Imperium seems to have are ones for bolter rounds. I've never seen an instance of these being used in any book or source I've read that I can recall, but I can only imagine how devastating just a few shots from a bolter firing unreality bullets at you can be. I imagine you'd probably use them on rare targets like powerful demons, things like that. And so these are just a few of the rare weapons the Imperium employs. There's quite a few more than this, and perhaps I will add more to this list later. As I said, this is going to be a bit of a shorter one. Just wanted to put one out there on a few things I found interesting when I was looking through some topics to do. Not all of these will be longer, although I do want to get into some longer form videos, but I'd like your suggestions on content for future videos in a longer format, any specific topic you'd like. I will do my best to try to get that out there. As always, please like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content if you are new here. If you are not new, I again thank you for finding it worth your time to view my videos. Please leave a comment with either your favorite rare weapon system, or a request for a future video, or anything else you would like to talk about. Bring your light into the dark places, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you and have a great day or night wherever you are.